The NSFW show, nerd stuff and freaking wrestling. Papa J in the building, better buckle up. For my fans, I'ma drink out the Stanley Cup. Like I said, now bow, better buckle up. And I got my people with me, what the fuck is up? Bo back in the building with a new sound. Coming in loud, breaking through the crowd. NSFW, best show round. And I'm a big boy, so I know I make my family proud. Z Money in the building, yeah, I'm going up. First episode, fans showing love. NSFW, nerd stuff, and I'm on a higher level, never coming down. We on a new level, on a new level. We on a new level, on a new level. We on a new level, on a new level. We on a new level, on a new level. The NSFW show, nerd stuff and freaking wrestling.
Welcome back to the internet's most family-friendly NSFW podcast, Nerd Stuff and Frickin' Wrestling. I am your host, Bulk Lesnar. Everybody on the internet. I missed a week. I'm out of my steps. But I had my chicken quesadilla today, so
the quesadillas.
That lovely voice you hear is my co-host Z Money. How you doing, Z Money?
It is indeed me, Z Money. You know who I am. I'm here again on another show just for you guys. I'm on a million shows every day.
That's
just
right.
like the rest of us. I feel like we all been doing our due diligence. But yes, it is indeed me, Z Money, and I'm happy and I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing great. But we got one other host with us, Papa J. How you doing, Papa J?
Oh, phenomenal, man. Phenomenal.
That's
so
funty.
excited.
As you said, Papa
That
J.
fucking vein going through your bicep.
Why you got to say that all the time? Stop. You're flattering. It's making me blush. I can't blush on this show.
Somebody likes that drop too much.
Man, I'm just a little peek into the future. I have one episode that I'm waiting for. What a day that you're not here and I am. It's just me and Papa J.
Yeah.
You're gonna love the
Suck
topic
each other
I have
off?
for you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna let you nerd out for almost a whole hour about Harley Davidson.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, I can talk Harley.
Yeah, that's why I'm waiting for Z Money to be gone.
Oh,
And then
why?
on an episode that you're gone and it's just me and Z Money, we're gonna talk sports on the NSFW podcast.
I don't want to talk sports though.
You like sports.
When football's around, I like to talk about football, but I'm not a diehard fan. I'm not a shoot 'em down, rag 'em out, even though 90% of the time I wear a Philadelphia Eagles hat to the studio. But hey, I like football. I will say that, but I don't. Off season, I could give a shit less. On season, I'm that number one fan, right? I'm that wagon wheel, whatever you want to call it, bandwagoner. That is me. Call me that, bandwagoner.
Yeah, but we got some good topics today.
Wow.
We're gonna hit that number one video game villain of all time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming, 4 weeks. We hit the list. If you caught last week's show, mine was just thrown in right at the very end. My number.
Yeah, because you were late to your own show.
Yeah, because I fucked up. I agree.
You got friends that still did it for you, though. You're welcome.
Yeah, I feel horrible.
Just say thank you.
I already did. But I feel horrible. Mr. Rudy, don't headbutt me again, please.
That man's violent.
He is. But he's not the most violent man in Arizona.
No, that would be the man in black, Alex Salyers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure if they were both here in the same room, Alex would have got him back from me.
Yeah, you think he'd stood up for you?
Maybe, because if he was here and I wasn't here for the podcast, maybe they would have double teamed me and threw me out the wrestling rink. Yeah, if you follow our social medias at biglipradio.com on their Discord and everything, you will see that we actually did post videos of us getting our asses kicked, especially Z Money in a wrestling.
I still got bruises, bro. You see my arm yet,
Dude,
guys?
that bicep must have been from the clothesline you
You
gave
see,
him.
it's still kind of there.
Yeah.
It's still kind of there. I don't know. Here, I'll show you guys. Let's see if I can't get a good angle of it.
Or was it from the headbutt that Rudy gave you?
Well, I think it was when he taught me how to clothesline. I'm clothesline so hard with my left hand. Let me see if I can get it. You can kind of already see it.
It was really rough last week.
Oh, yeah. I got pictures on our
couldn't
Discord.
believe it.
It's awful.
But yeah, we got a little bit of wrestling talk. Saturday night's main event is this weekend.
Yeah.
Also, with the big retirement match of the one and only Eats Corn the Long Way, Goldberg.
Eat corn the long way?
Yeah,
Goldberg.
Corn the Long Way. I'm going to watch it because I know Papa J is not going to, and I need to be able to talk about it next week. Evolution is this week.
Yeah, I might miss that.
Yeah.
I might catch the highlights on YouTube.
So Evolution is this weekend. We get a little bit of Friday Night SmackDown talk and a little bit of Monday Night Raw. Truthfully, Papa J, I think you might come back to Friday Night SmackDown a little bit more.
Yeah?
Yeah, they. I believe last Friday was the first week they are back to a 2-hour schedule.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. You know, and you know, I'm looking at the talking points.
It's all right. You already took a nap today, right? You
Oh,
good?
Yeah, I took a nap.
You ready to go? You got your nuggies in you?
I don't got nuggies. He got nuggies.
You got nuggies in you?
This man was so angry, and then he got nuggies in him.
Oh.
That is some autism level
Hey,
shit.
kid, ask what happens when you eat or hide or don't give another man his chicken nuggets he was expecting to get.
Yeah.
You get got. Yeah, I'll tell you that right now. You get got.
Yeah, I'm just like, Papa J, here are your nuggets right here. And he's like, what? Why aren't they in a box? I was looking for a box.
Why you put them in a bag?
Burger King, the little 4-piece kids meal, they come in a bag.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Stupid.
But I see one little talking point on here that I'm a little interested in because I didn't know it was coming on here.
Who's coming out?
Is Game Pass killing the video game industry?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, it is.
Papa J, elaborate.
Well, the problem with Game Pass, and it's been a problem since the beginning, and people have been talking about it and not really taking it seriously until the implosion of Xbox started, 2 months ago? When they started laying off all of their development teams and canceling their games and putting the games they have out on competing systems. Indiana Jones didn't sell anything on Xbox. So they had to go ahead and make that exclusive game available on PlayStation. And the reason it didn't sell is everybody played it on Game Pass. And then...
Do you think they make money off of Game Pass? The developers?
The developers...
Or do you think they use it
no.
as a way to get the word out about their game?
I think they use it because they're afraid... if their game's not on Game Pass, everybody will play everybody else's game.
Yeah.
So I think they've got that going. Now, they pay Microsoft a fee to be able to be on Game Pass. And in some cases, Microsoft pays the developers a fee. But if you look at Spotify, which nobody buys music anymore.
No.
So everybody goes...
But yet there's still so many stores out there that sell music.
Yeah, but not at
Records
the level...
are coming back, though.
Right.
New
but-
artists are making records.
Right.
Like physical records.
but not at the point where they can sustain themselves. Now, when you go to a concert, when I was a kid, and I'll bring this back around to video games, when I was a kid, you would go to a concert for $5 for the cheap seats, $25 up front, because they were touring for their album. Okay, so they sold the album right there at the arena, so you could buy the tape, the CD, or the vinyl right there at the arena, and they're raking in cash. Okay, you spent all your money on booze and weed, so you can't buy the CD there. Next payday, you're gonna go down to Musicland or Tower Records or Zia and go buy the CD because you're so jacked up from the concert you saw the week before.
Yeah.
Video games don't have the outlet where now the bands can't make any money because they sell it for pennies to get it on Spotify. And so they get it on Spotify and then they tour hoping they get enough listens on Spotify for you to pay $250 just to get in the goddamn door.
Well, I feel like I feel like a lot of those are for like beginner outlets, like indie artists, if you want to call those artists who don't have a label or anything. Because we have our song on Spotify, and I pay a third-party company of I think it's $20 a year,
Right.
to have an account that allows me to put any amount of songs on Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, a lot of shit, and I just got to pay this $20 fee, and whatever ads I want to put on there, whatever it may be, I get paid for all those royalties though. So it's
If people buy.
well, if they
people
just
are listening
listen
on Spotify, we
yeah.
don't get jacked.
Yeah, you do.
How much do we get off of Spotify?
Right now we have $1.58.
On Spotify.
I'm not lying.
But-
yeah, $1.58, and that's just from the Big Up Radio intro that has I think 9,000 listened to. By the way,
Right. Now.
it was at 5,000 last time we celebrated.
That's pretty goddamn good,
Dude,
actually.
$1.20, and it's from Spotify. And
So we made $2 for I don't know 8,000 9,000 listens.
so you start to weigh the work and pay output, right? Is it worth it? Should you sign with a label? Should you go through all that? But I feel like Microsoft and their Game Pass at one point started out as the indie developer program. Remember?
It did.
It started out
Right.
as an indie developer program where it gave these
Right.
newer developers who didn't have a big studio a chance to get their games seen and heard. Now Game Pass evolved and kind of, I feel like, shattered that model, which was well respected, by the way.
Right.
Everybody loved the indie developer side.
I don't think Minecraft would be what it is today if Game Pass didn't carry it.
Of course. So it's done a lot, but I think it's ran its course. And right now, I think you are right in that they're offloading ship right now, right? They're not going to be in the console world anymore.
No.
There's been rumors of them making a console with AMD and all this other crazy shit going around.
Right.
I feel like a lot of that's AI. But for the most part, I don't think they're ruining the industry, though. I think they're just giving other avenues that we just simply don't know. Maybe it's evolution. Maybe it's just the next thing that maybe it's moving so fast we think it's fucking something up. But everybody knows what Xbox is.
Right.
Everybody knows what Nintendo is. Everybody knows what Sony is. I don't think any one of these three companies, unless it's intentional, are going to die. I think you're always going to hear these motherfuckers' name, whether they're making $1 billion or not. They're going to be in our life for the next 50 years, I feel like, at least.
Here's where it's killing the industry, though. You'll see Microsoft has been canceling games and firing.
Layoffs.
I mean,
a lot of companies are laying off right now.
They bought Activision Blizzard, one of the biggest companies on the planet. They just laid off like a third of those guys.
Yeah.
Because they can't sell a single copy on Xbox.
Now, is
it's
this...
selling on PlayStation and Steam.
You're right.
But a third of their market has been hacked out. And
AI play a role at all, do you think?
nah,
Maybe
not yet.
maybe
Not yet.
one
It
developer
will.
can use tools that would take up the utilization and work ethic of 10 other developers. So this one guy, now that he has all this AI, doesn't replace anybody, but he doesn't need anybody anymore.
Right. At some point that may happen. That's
Yeah.
speculation. But what actually is happening is Microsoft is putting its existing products out onto other platforms just so they can make a buck. The developers can make a buck.
Yeah.
Microsoft's making a buck because they're selling Game Pass.
Yeah.
But Epic isn't getting a cut of that.
I don't know. I feel like that's speculation too. We don't know that.
So here's the proof though. Microsoft just canceled Forza.
Yeah.
There's no more Forza. Forza, what, 8 or 7? That was the last Forza. Forza Horizon's going to continue, but that's also shifting over to the other platforms because they can't sell it because it's on Game Pass. Okay, so
Maybe this
it's
is that
already
business
killed
model.
Forza.
You're exactly right. I'm seeing what you're saying now. Maybe this is that business model. This is how they're making those other developers their money by shopping it out to other consoles. Because in other ways, none of these other game developers would have a chance at being on a Nintendo console. They're so rigorous, Nintendo themselves, at putting your game on their console.
Right.
And they're going to, not even that, Sony, they probably have a different set of standards, and some people don't meet those, but they meet the Xbox standards, right? So now Xbox hard charging their way. Here, developers on Game Pass, on everything that, I know we're not making a lot of money, but this is our evolution. This is what we're going to do. We're going to get you on every other fucking platform so you can make the money.
Right.
Is that what it is?
Well, that's what they're going to have to do. However,
That's not bad.
Xbox and many developers Xbox bought are dead.
True.
Those developers are gone because of Game Pass. And Gears of War is going to PlayStation.
But the irony in that is we just gave a good example of a game that wouldn't be here probably with or survive this long without Game Pass, and that was Minecraft.
Right, but that was an indie. It works for the indies.
See.
We can make money selling our opening through ads or whatever on Spotify because we don't have to pay a record label.
Yeah,
we don't have to pay a producer.
Exactly.
We don't have to load up trucks and gear and get to arenas. We don't have to do any of that. We can just sit by and collect $2.
You know what's also cool, though, is Xbox is opening their doors to other platforms as well. It's not a one-way street. You put our shit on your fucking console and just deal with it. It's a, hey, if you want to survive on another platform, we're here for you. And that's perfect example is Steam. Right now, I can go into Xbox Game Pass PC, and all my Steam games now populate amongst the Xbox library. So I'm playing Steam games. I don't know if it's just a hot loader, you know what I mean? Just a software that's recognizing other games on your computer so you can conveniently play them all from one place, or if it's an actual hosting the game and all those rewards and shit and stat points are going to your Xbox Game Pass.
It's like my Movies Anywhere app, okay? I've got a Movies Anywhere app, so I can go to that one app, and I've got my Prime, account there. I've got my
Bundles them all up for you.
Right. I've got my Xbox movies I bought off of Xbox. I got all of these different Fandango, all these different, and I only need to go to one place.
What was that ultraviolet one?
Right.
Do you have an ultraviolet account?
Yes, I do. But all those games were saved on my Movies Anywhere account,
Nice.
so I still have them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a difference between Xbox making a Steam app
Yeah.
and you being able to play Steam on your Xbox.
Yeah.
Then Game Pass. What's the word I'm looking for?
Hosting?
Collating? It's not
Hosting?
collating. But anyway, adding all of your other games into Game Pass for you to play on somebody else's device.
Yeah.
That's not you playing on Xbox.
But it opens that door.
That's just Game Pass storing your links so that you can play those games through Game Pass.
Yeah. I almost feel the opposite side of the argument.
Correlating. Thank
correlate.
you. There's the word I was looking for. They correlate all of my movies in one spot.
Yeah. Maybe the silver lining is specifically that Xbox is extending olive branches, right? They have a whole new handheld division coming out that they're teaming up with Asus, ROG Ally, that whole series, right? So I feel like that's helping. I don't know how that could be hurting. Maybe they're not giving a dedicated platform to play the games on, but no matter what, if you ever want to play an Xbox game, you can. And that's what I can't not wrap my mind around. I feel like that makes so much logical sense to put all of your games on another platform. And I don't know if it's killing the industry. I feel like a lot of companies are going to end up going through what Xbox is, and they're going to be laying off employees, and we're going to be having the same conversation about PlayStation. Maybe not Nintendo. I will say Nintendo might be the exception to this rule. Yeah. But I feel like for the most part, all these companies have also been talking about layoffs that not even been dealt with as far as Microsoft or Xbox goes.
Well, Sony started this a while ago.
I feel like it's been happening.
No. I mean, the laying off of studios and canceling games.
Which is what you're correlating that they're killing the industry pretty much, right?
Sony's been doing it for the past a couple of years.
What AAA game has Sony canceled?
1313.
That wasn't a AAA.
It was EA was making 1313.
Right, but that's not a Sony game. That's an EA game. But that's.
What are you talking? What? Primary property is.
Right, Sony canceled all Forza games. They're all done. You're not getting Forza
you said
anymore.
Sony. You mean Xbox?
Or Xbox, yeah. They canceled all Forza games. There's no Forza games coming. They canceled Perfect Dark, which was going to be a...
Well, thank God. Fuck.
AAA
That's
game.
a Nintendo game anyway. Fuck that.
It's a Rare game, and who owns Rare?
Nintendo.
No.
It's Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft bought
back
it.
on Viva Pinata days and Banjo-Kazooie on the Xbox 360.
But they canceled a highly anticipated legacy game. There's a lot of Perfect Dark. There's a lot of sequels out there. Now, let me ask you this. With the lack of competition, because everybody's going open source, do you think Tommy, who plays throwaway games in throwaway hours, he'll spend hours and hours playing Call of Duty, he'll spend hours and hours playing
Minecraft and Fortnite. I've seen it always on your gamer tag on our Discord. Right. It says you're playing Fortnite, Minecraft, or what? I forget the third one.
Fortnite, Minecraft, and Warzone.
Yes, Warzone.
In 20 years, is he going to look back on these days with the same nostalgia and magic we look back on Tomb Raider, Resident Evil?
I think so. You know why? Because every day I come in here, this dude's in the same spot, to your point, playing these same 3 games, and guess what he's doing? He's not just sitting there like a mindless zombie drinking beers. He's doing exactly what you did. He's doing exactly what that evolved into, which was what I did, and that's exactly what's evolved into is what he's doing. And if you're not understanding what I'm getting to, the fucking chat communication. You used to hold the fucking phone up to your shoulder and call your buddy Dan, the cleanest man, and sit there and fucking, and you remember that with Tomb Raider specifically. Right? That's what you were referencing. Now, I remember specifically playing fucking Halo 2 with all my buddies. Remember when they specifically bought me that Xbox headset because I didn't have one? You were sitting on the couch right next to me when they said, we'll bring one over. They wouldn't bought me one, brought it over, said, put this on and stop being a fucking fuckhead. Just let me have it. Put it on, and that I will never forget that type of communication. Ever since then, my life was changed as far as video games. And now at this point, when I walk in here, These motherfuckers got their iPad set up and they have FaceTime going,
Right.
and they're FaceTiming each other the same way.
Right,
So,
he's got his iPad facing the screen, so his little jerk-off buddy can
and
watch him.
Fantasy Star Online,
while they're
the
playing.
chat lobbies. What do we? I remember the chat fucking lobbies, right? You typed on your fucking keyboard or your controller, the digital keyboard on the screen. Remember those things?
Right.
Bro, and
Here's the difference.
that's why I think he's going to remember this, because he's doing it just in a different way than we all did it.
Here's the difference, though.
Same three games.
Fortnite, Minecraft, they have an addictive quality that makes you play these games for years.
Isn't that
right?
what you're supposed to do? They figured it out?
To a point, but at the same time, just because somebody's sitting on the couch for the last 15 years snorting meth doesn't mean he's actually enjoying it.
Bro, we're talking
It
about
means he's
fucking
addicted
video
to it.
games, bro, not
And-
meth.
Right, but is there the magic of Zelda? Is there the magic of Mario? Is there the magic of Doom? Is there the magic of all these marquee games that are no longer coming out? What's a marquee game that's come out in the last 5 years?
I mean,
Yeah, chirp, chirp. I wish we had a cricket
Tony
sound.
Hawk Pro Skater 1+2.
No. Tony Hawk came out in the 90s, so that was a marquee game that's still played today.
You know, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2 sold more than any other Tony Hawk
Can
in the
you
series.
believe it?
That's
It's
fucking nuts.
hugely
Nostalgia
successful.
is one hell of a drug.
Well, it introduced the new generation
Uh-huh.
to Tony Hawk 1 and 2,
Mm-hmm.
and let's face it, 1 and 2 were better than the original 1 and 2 because they incorporated all of those quality of life features that the later games invented that weren't in the original ones.
All right, I'm going to type into Google here. I'm going to switch our little view. You don't have to necessarily do it yet, but while you guys talk, I'm going to type into Google top 5 video games in the last 5 years.
Alrighty.
Just so we can...
And we'll see if there's any legacy games.
Oops.
Because I can't think of a single, Tomb Raider level, Doom level, Resident Evil level.
Well, I'm seeing a perfect transition right here. We're gonna look up top 5 video games of the last
Right.
5 years. So I think this is a perfect time to transition into our number 1 top
Number
video
1
game
villain.
villain of all time. And while Z Money's doing that, I'll go ahead and
Refresh us of your number 2 before you get to your number 1.
my number 2 is the Reapers / Harbinger from the Mass Effect series.
right.
Mass Effect is on my Mount Rushmore of video games.
Bro, we're
I-
stupid. We're fucking dumb.
I love Mass Effect so fucking much.
Right.
Legendary Edition came out, which puts 1, 2, and 3 all on one thing, and you could almost seamlessly go from one game to the next. And they even they updated
Thank you.
Mass Effect 1 to make a better combat system. He's got one right there.
Oh,
Thank you. No, I double fisted.
Yeah, we're gonna keep him backed up. With
It's warm. He's got to stay hydrated. But when Mass Effect Legendary came out, very rarely do I ever take time off of work for video games. And I
Right.
took 2 days off of work because it was rolling into the weekend. And in a single weekend, I sat at my desk, did not feed my kids, and I played Mass Effect Legendary from Mass Effect 1 all the way through.
Andromeda.
Andromeda.
Mass Effect 3 was been around, and then
Yeah.
Andromeda. So wait, you're talking about favorite game?
Well, no. He wanted me to refresh my number 2.
His number 2, since he got in just a quick one.
Oh,
Yeah.
from last week's
From last
villain.
week,
Yeah.
villain.
Top villain. Top 5 villain.
Right.
But to state my number 1 video game villain of all time,
Here, go ahead and
And
change the
number
screen.
1 antagonist
I'm gonna Google.
is the Gravemind from Halo.
Ooh.
Is the
solid.
flood, the Gravemind, the flood in general. I just remember being a young lad playing through Halo, and then getting to
What the fuck is that? That's creepy. Does any of that look familiar?
No,
Is any of that it there, Bulk?
yeah, the Gravemind's right there. That's the Gravemind.
That's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
It looks like a Resident Evil monster.
It does.
Yeah. So what the Gravemind is, if you're not aware of it, is when enough flood infect sentient beings, they will merge together,
All right.
and then they will basically correlate all their knowledge and become sentient. And if a planet ends up having a Gravemind, for sure that planet is completely lost.
All right.
There's almost no way to recover it without starving out the flood.
It says, in the Halo universe, the Grave Mind is the ultimate sentient hive mind of the Flood, a parasitic alien species. It's a massive, grotesque creature formed by the amalgamation of countless Flood-infected beings in their biomass, essentially acting as a central intelligence and leader of the Flood. Hive mind. That's crazy.
Yeah. So you're introduced to the Grave Mind in Halo 2. And the way you're introduced is he forcefully kidnaps you and the Arbiter. And it's just like, hey, I know we want to kill you guys, but I need your guys' help to stop the rings from activating because I don't want to die. But I had fallen down a very, very deep Halo hole.
Halo hole.
Yeah, as a child. So to the point of in middle school, my nickname, and most of the teachers called me it, was Halo.
Yeah.
Because I would just be walking down the halls reading all the books, and just falling into the whole rabbit hole of everything. Like if you remember, huh?
The rabbit butthole of everything.
There's a part in Halo 1.
Ooh, titties.
Where that's Cortana. That's Cortina.
Hey, girl.
But there's a part in Halo 1 where they're trying to communicate with Captain Keyes, and all he's doing is reciting his name and his military ID.
All right, I'm gonna do this. Should I type in Halo nude?
Oh no, you can't do this.
Why?
The second you hit that, we're gonna get taken down on
Tell
YouTube.
me I won't fucking do it. Tell me I won't do it.
You won't do it.
Tell me I'll do it.
You'll do it.
You won't do it. You ain't got a hair in your
you'll do
ass.
You lucky motherfuckers. I had the wrong button.
Yeah, stick
Do
your
not
hand
come.
there. I like the way Bulk went ahead and changed screens just in case because we weren't entirely sure.
All right, put it back.
But
I get it. You little trickster.
Yeah,
Ha jokes on you. I did it.
Captain Keyes is just reciting his military ID, and they go to find out that he's a proto Grave Mind. Like they're forming around him because they want human knowledge. But if you go in the book, The Flood by Eric Nolan, that whole process of them trying to get the coordinates of Earth and all the information out of Captain Keyes is fucking brutal. It's just like it's talking about him feeling his bone snapping and his body being changed, and that his memories are slowly being taken from him. But he's relying on his training of I to not give in to interrogation. Just repeat my name and my ID. Just repeat my name and my ID.
Right.
And it gets far enough to where Chief is able to get there to save him,
right,
end his life. And I think in the game he punches through Captain Keyes' head because he needs to get a transponder that's in his neck. So he just punches right through him and grabs it out. It's fucking great.
It's good stuff.
But, all right, Papa J, who's your number one video game villain of all time?
It might well be Zach's. I have not spoiled myself and looked through Zach's article of the top 5, so I don't know what his top 5 is. Mine is clearly the dragon at the end of the forest level of Phantasy Star Online. Now, when that thing hit, it's 2000. I'm playing this in the Dreamcast. Never before have I seen those kinds of graphics. Those graphics were cool. The animation was intense. The sound was terrifying. His feet stomping on the ground. And, of course, the music. The music was amazing. Look at that. He's about to tunnel right there. Those graphics were next level. I've never seen anything that perfect on a home game up to that point in my life. It was terrifying, and I probably died that first time just sitting there afraid to move. It was brutal. It was beautiful. It was perfect. Z-Money, what do you think?
Yeah, that boss. I got a lot of memories with that motherfucking boss. The dragon. I forget what the fuck is. He had a specific name. And
He did have a name, and
D-Rolly. I don't know what the fuck it is, but for the most part, it's the dragon boss is what we call it. And it does play a major role because when you're introduced to this game, you start off in this forest that you see here, Nice green, little enriched area with enemies that are called boomas and gaboomas. So it's a really happy place, right? Here's just another area of the forest if you're watching us live.
Right.
I'm showing all these little areas. It's really peaceful. It's really cool. And you got these little rappies. But then all of a sudden you fucking teleport down into this motherfucker. And he's like, hey, bitch, give me all your shit. And
Into the depths of hell.
this is back when if you had anything equipped or any money, you dropped it at the boss. Remember that?
Right, you had to go back to the boss to go get it.
And if you didn't beat the boss, you didn't get your shit. So most of the time, if you died at the boss, that means you probably couldn't beat him. So you wouldn't go back down there and you just lose your shit. It could be some rare items, some special equipment, some ultimate gear. Look at that. That's beautiful. Let me see if I
That
can.
is great. Those graphics were something else back then.
Yeah, the Sega Dreamcast did not let you down.
The lens flare was amazing.
Look at that.
The anti-aliasing was pretty damn good.
And then obviously they made a bunch of remakes and remasters for the GameCube, Nintendo GameCube, my friend.
Right, that's the best version of that game.
Yes, because
I think.
the 1 and 2 Plus is my favorite version. Fantasy Star Online episode 1 and 2 and Plus for the Nintendo GameCube.
Right.
That thing's going for like $250 right now, by the way, too. It's
Right,
fucking
we got
nuts.
2 copies.
At least we got
Two or
every
three.
other PSO copy game too.
We do. We do. And that was my number one all-time most terrifying
And just to
boss.
piggyback off, you're not lying, Papa J. Whenever I pop down, like I said, you're introduced to that, and then that motherfucker shows up, and you are terrified. It's the jump scare. It's a
Yeah.
right. It's one of those motherfucking deals, man.
And whenever somebody does that, it makes me think of the Will Ferrell clip.
I'm inspired by a cross between Homer Simpson and Jerry the King Lawler when I go, wah!
I can't do it. I can't do
Yeah.
it.
Who's your number one, Z?
Oh, my number one? Well, let me remind you of my number 4. Dr. Neocortex from Crash Bandicoot from the PS1 time frames. And then number 3, Crow from Donkey Kong Country 2. And that was number 4 was Psycho Mantis from Metal Gear Solid, and then number 5 was Mr. X. So, ladies and gentlemen, that leaves us, especially for the 10 of you that have read this article, you would understand what my number 1 is, and we cannot forget it's from my favorite game of all time, the game we just spent so much time with, Phantasy Star Online Dark Falls, bro. And it's not the normal version, it's the hard mode version. Now, as you go through the difficulties of this game, different sorts of enemies appear, different colors and variation, levels change skin. Everything pretty much stays the same, just skins change and they become more difficult. Mm-hmm. Well, from going from normal mode to hard mode in Phantasy Star Online, you had to reach a certain level gap. You would fight a boss called Dark Falls, and he had 3 different transformations. Let me go ahead and Google this for you. Right now, Dark Falls PSO. Right? I just Googled Dark Falls PSO. We're going to go to the images here. And he started off as this big, huge creature that was on the ground, this big, huge 3-headed monster. That was his first evolution right there. And you see a little character down there. He'd run around a circle, fire beams into the air, and then once you defeated him, he would turn into this form, the secondary form, which was a independent monster with no heads or arms, just these or no heads or legs, just one head, 2 arms, and ran around a circle right there. And then it came to his 3rd form, and that's the form you experienced in hard mode. This motherfucker right here, he had an attack, Dark Falls final boss fight, he had an attack where it would just slice you from right to left, top to down, and you would be donezo. 1 hit, 1 kill, ready to die, but never will.
Right.
But for the most part, that motherfucker, he scared the living shit out of you, because if you never experienced him before, and you've played through the normal difficulty, you didn't know this existed. You had no idea. There was no internet. I mean, back then there was internet, but you weren't running
And
to
not everybody had it.
Yeah, you weren't running to it to check it out to find out what you could find out about a video game. You know what I mean? I did that on cheat codes with Cheat CC, but never for information. You know, we got the strategy guys. We had the actual books. Remember those strategy guys, the physical strategy guys?
Scholastic Book Fair.
Yes, and at one point we got one of those, but it wasn't until after I experienced all this shit for the first time without one of those. And holy crap, during that hard mode gameplay, when this guy showed up, I had no idea what to do. I didn't know how to handle him. He'd spin in circles. He'd shoot rays, like a ray gun. You know the ray gun in Call of Duty?
Yeah.
He had one of those that come from his fucking mouth. And he would just around the whole fucking circle that you're running around.
Right.
You had limited amount of space. You could just constantly run in a circle and hope he didn't hit you. 90% of times he'd hit you. And like we mentioned before, if you had any special items equipped or any money in your pocket, you would drop that shit right away and you'd be gone. So it was a risk, a 50-50 chance you could lose everything. And just not even understand it. Look at that fucking guy. He's like, "You're mine, bitch. I'm pointing at you." And he would take your soul. That was the beginning of the attack where he would take your fucking soul, and then he would run around. And every time you shot him, as long as he had his soul in his eyeball, you would take the damage that you would hit him with. That is the most ridiculous thing I had ever. I was like, well, how is that fair? And then when he hits you, you still take all the damage. So it's like, fuck, I'm dead if I shoot him, and I'm dead if I take a hit from him. So
Right.
you just prayed to God your armor was up, your mags were powered up to 100%. Your mags are the things on your shoulder. So you had a lot to rely on here to help you through this Dark Falls boss. And for that, just the element of surprise and just how difficult. I didn't beat him initially until I feel like after the first year of me playing this game. After my first 100 hours, I feel like I finally was able to beat him for the first time. So it makes you grind for this, and I respect it for that because you deserve it at that point. It makes you feel like you deserved it. So other than that, that is my number one villain of all time. But one thing we need to talk about. We did the villains, right, boys?
Yes.
We did the villains,
Yeah.
right? Now, I'm sure usually when there's a dark side, there's a light side to help fight that force,
That's right.
That force of evil. So we're going to start next week our top 5 favorite heroes of video games. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like Master Chief could be a hero of a video game.
Right.
There's
Fucking...
a protagonist.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shepard from your
Commander
fucking
Shepard.
Commander Shepard. All these people, Super Mario, he could be a hero. Yes, it doesn't matter. So
SpongeBob.
go
Hey,
through.
he's got video games.
He's got him.
Think. I know we've played.
Cartman.
All of us have played more than just the mainstream. So I'd like us, if a mainstream character is ultimately your favorite hero of a video game, like a Super Mario, so be it. Master Chief, let it be. But just think deep of what you've experienced and what made the most impact on your life. And if it's one of those guys, let it be. But I'm looking for something unique here, something I haven't heard of, something that Biggie wouldn't know about for sure.
I mean, it's not a hard pitch.
Well, then there you go. That's the standard. So tune in next week for that.
What you guys are talking about?
Exactly.
Nintendo games. That's all I know.
It's all Nintendo.
Well,
So-
let's speaking of that sultry voice that decided to come here and join us.
Bugle Boy jeans that you're wearing.
Why, yes, they are Bugle Boy jeans.
Yeah. How you doing, Biggie?
I'm chilling, brother. How are you?
Good. I held on to this topic for you because I figured you'd show up a little bit early.
Did you?
Yeah, we got a little bit of wrestling to talk about on NSFW.
A lot of wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start off on the good old 4th of July pre-taped episode of Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Why was it all pre-taped? I already knew half the shit that happened.
Because it's the 4th of July.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was done on Tuesday right after Raw, right?
Uh,
That's what I heard. It was literally done as soon as Raw ended, they went in.
Yeah. the pre-tape episodes,
AI
the-
says yes. This week, Friday Night SmackDown was pre-recorded due to the July 4th holiday. WWE decided to tape the show on Monday after Raw to give the wrestlers the day off for the holiday.
Okay.
And this video shows some of the
I
footage
mean, I
that was
guess
there.
I can respect that. Give
Yeah.
4th of July off. I just hate how
I
it
don't know.
got leaked. And how do you not leak
It's
it?
AI. I, feel
I
he's lying.
remember when Survivor Series was on Thanksgiving Day.
I feel like there was shit
and
happening on
screw you
Christmas
guys.
Day, right? What the
Screw
fuck?
you guys.
Yeah,
You're
but
working.
That was the dictator in charge at that time.
Right.
You work 565. There's only 364. We got double duty.
Double duty one day at least.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna fly through Friday Night SmackDown. Go ahead and stop me if there's anything you specifically want to talk about.
There is something specifically horrible I'll stop you at.
Yeah. So we started off the show with, I guess part of the show was Cody Rhodes and Jade Cargill coming out and basically saying, "I'm King of the Ring, I'm Queen of the Ring."
I have beefs with this too.
Do you?
Did you not see the women's crown was so fucking big she couldn't even put it on her head? It's so oversized. Dude, they made this $1 billion crown.
Right.
Make the motherfucker fit.
Yeah, it fit. Well, I mean, they made it to fit Nia Jax's head.
No shit.
It fit Nia Jax's head last year.
Well,
What is
that's
it,
the whole
foretelling?
point. It's like there's not a... you know who's going to win. Make it fit Jade's head. You knew who was going to win it. It's not a surprise.
How? What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, no, true. Good.
I don't know what you're talking
Don't
about.
break that fourth wall. Don't do it.
We had the big return of Drew McIntyre. Crybaby Drew is now back to interrupt Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton.
With the most epic one-liners. I'm just saying, dude was on fire in his.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not great at his promos. He's just a big old crybaby,
dude.
They hired better writers for him.
Well, dude, when he came out and was like, "No, you hang up. No, you hang up." That shit was great, bro. I was like, "That's awesome, dude."
We got the start of Bloodline Civil War 2, where we had Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso defeated Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo, and then they got jumped afterwards.
What'd you just call it?
Bloodline Civil War 2.
Did you not watch the show?
Yeah.
Solo named that group on the show.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I missed it too. What do you name it?
MFT. Swear to God.
Motherfucker tongues.
My family tree. He literally says it in the promo. He does a promo and he's like, "This is MFT." Because I guess he can't use Bloodline because of Roman Reigns. So
Yeah.
don't you fucking do it.
Well, Bloodline's part of this. Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso defeated Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo, but then proceeded to get jumped by the fucking tall motherfucker, Tala Tonga.
It's his name.
Yeah. And then we got Botchmaster Supreme back.
Tama Tonga.
Tongaloa.
Tongaloa, yeah.
Yeah, Tongaloa.
Too many
is back.
goddamn Tonga. Quit naming everybody Tonga. You're pissing me off.
It's confusing, bro.
We had the women's tag team qualifier match for who would represent SmackDown at Evolution. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair defeated Michin, the Secret Service, the Secret Hervis, B-Fab and Michin.
Hate that shit so much.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Then we had the Wyatt Six defeated Montez Ford, Johnny Gargano, Berto, and Chris Sabin.
Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton went ahead and chose Trish Stratus for Evolution Championship.
This is my
match.
beef.
David Gutierrez says Taco Supreme.
This is my
Yes,
beef.
we have them.
This is my beef. Right here.
Yeah.
Oh, I smell it,
Yeah,
bro.
This
Somebody farted.
promo was the worst fucking promo I have ever seen. Dude, this shit
The
was...
second worst.
It was so bad. Did you not watch it?
It looked like it looked like one of those what am I looking for? Those paid commercials.
Your penis.
Dude, it was
Yeah.
awkward.
Where they'd have guys from the audience ask these staged questions. These guys were just giving
Yep.
canned answers.
That's all it was, dude. And Tiffany, the looks on her faces, she was like trying to be a heel. Like this character don't work as a face. Tiffany's character is a heel character, and she's not good enough. Or I don't even say good enough. I would say experienced enough to be able to pull this character off as a face.
right.
Yeah.
So they need to just stop. And Jade Cargill's horrible. Did you hear her, dude? I'm leaving that forever. Always. I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
That's not even Hibbonics. That's just dumb. Like, you can't fucking speak. And Trish?
Ebonics.
Bro,
Trish seemed to be not in it.
yeah.
She's like, well, I'm cashing a
known to
paycheck.
evolve.
Yeah.
My kid can watch me when it... Fuck off. That was just stupid. I'm sorry.
I'm
Worst shit
just
I've
going to
ever
correct you.
seen.
This is the second worst promo.
Who was first?
Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton.
Oh yeah,
Fair enough.
that was horrible.
This was on that fucking
yeah.
level, bro.
And then ending up the night, we had Andrade and Rey Fenix versus Fraxium. I think was a great match. It was pretty fast, and I just like watching luchadors do luchador stuff.
I would like to tune into a luchador show to watch luchadors. We could chill out on the luchador.
I mean, you had your chance. It was WWE Worlds Collide. There was luchadors there.
and that's why I said if I wanted.
Yeah.
I don't.
Because there's a lot of them now, dude. Remember
too many of them.
when there wasn't many, there was the whole Latino
was
world
special,
order about
right.
it. Like now it's everybody.
When it was Psychosis and Rey Mysterio Jr., it was special. Now it's like,
Right.
okay,
We got a Grande Americano now.
right.
Well, we'll get around to that.
The greatest luchador in the world.
We're
He
gonna get
is.
around to
I
El
do
Grande
love it.
Americano.
I'm just saying.
As we go ahead and move on to Monday Night Raw.
Was that the end?
Yeah, that was SmackDown. There's some stuff I didn't talk about because it's gonna hit another topic. But to start off the night of Monday Night Raw, we had Karrion Kross attack Sami Zayn one more time,
Right.
and
Go ahead.
Good.
No, go ahead. Did
Suck-
you see,
suck it.
After this promo, or after this spot,
Yeah.
not in America, but in the overseas versions, Karrion Kross did a promo in the back. And as soon as they show it on the big screen, the whole fucking crowd erupts, dude. Like,
Just comes
yeah.
everywhere.
just goes everywhere and goes, "We want Kross! we want just one of the loudest chants I've ever heard in my life.
If they handle Cross right, and so far he's been just like
Nothing.
If they handle him right, he can move tickets and merch.
Absolutely, bro. His shirt was sold out. His first shirt was sold out recently. That was the first thing he said when he got on. He's like, "You got me now." So I want him to do something with him, dude. That'd be cool.
Right. They got to do something.
And his wife's titties are just.
Did you see that? What's her fucking name? The reporter chick.
Kathy Kelly?
No, not the other one. The one with the weird face.
Kathy Kelly's been all over X. People are putting up pictures of her from I don't know where, bikinis, lingerie. Dude, 10.
Really?
As good as she looks on Raw,
shit.
She's next level in these pictures. And nothing lewd, but next level.
No, nothing
in these
nude.
pictures.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all lewd.
right.
But so we had Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker.
Why?
Breaker speared Sami Zayn 3 times because Sami Zayn needs a vacation and you give him way out.
But dude, you realize this is the 3rd time this year that Sami Zayn has been written off of TV for an injury, a kayfabe injury, 3 times this year. So what the fuck? And dude, like the commentators almost, I want to say, like broke the 4th wall on this match partway through when they're like, "Why does he do this? Like the motherfucker's been through hell recently.
Right.
What's he got to prove? The dude's great. We all know that. Like Sami Zayn's a great wrestler. Like he'll be great. Why has he got to do this shit? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Injury prone.
who knows? But then we had Jey Uso versus Big Bronson Reed, which ended in a no contest, disqualification for Bronson Reed throwing a chair at Jey Uso's face.
It was epic.
Right.
It was great.
I was hoping for at least 3 tsunamis. We only got 2.
Bro, he was 4 shy of the fucking respect he was going for.
Yeah, I mean, it was sad.
It took 6 to beat it into Seth. It would have taken 6, you know.
Right.
He only got 2, 4 shy.
Then we had Roxanne Perez versus Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane went ahead and took that victory, even though Roxanne Perez had the help of Raquel Rodriguez. And then once match ended, they jumped Kairi Sane, and we had the reigniting, the rekindling of the Kabuki Warriors.
What is up with Kairi Sane just being off, man? I feel like ever since she came back, her rhythm is just way off. She's just not there. I don't know if it's the language barrier or what it is, but she's off, man. Hey, bring me my chips.
I don't.
I already ate 'em.
More so think it's her. I think it's because if I mean, go back and watch that match. The spots weren't missed by Kairi Sane. They were missed by Roxanne Perez. There was a Hurricane Rana.
David Gutierrez asked, "Why do you throw a chair?"
Because he's a bad guy. Yeah. And he wants to hurt Jey Uso. He wants to no yeet. But if you watch, there's a Hurricane Rana that Kairi Sane hits Roxanne Perez with, and there's like a good 1 or 2 second delay before Roxanne Perez does the forward flip.
Was there?
Yeah.
It just wasn't good.
Yeah, it was in this previous match. It was Roxanne missing a lot of the notes, not Kairi Sane.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I think that's
Chicano.
I mean, you would think I would vote for the Latina over the Asian girl.
I know better.
Yeah. Then we had the reunited the Kabuki Warriors. Then we had during that night we had a shitty promo from Becky Lynch.
She has lost it. She
Yeah.
doesn't have it anymore.
Bro, she was great backstage.
Oh yeah.
And then as soon as she got on, it was like, really, bitch, what are you doing?
Yeah, the Becky Lynch being on the side of the New Day. I'm sorry for your loss.
Best
Good.
thing you did was
Biggie. I don't find Becky Lynch that attractive.
Yeah, that's Papa J.
There've been moments in her career when she was, but
where's go find Kathy Kelly?
No. We're not talking about
And then ending out the night, we had Seth Rollins
Well, hold
versus
on.
Penta.
Bro, you missed what happened during the Becky Lynch shit. You never
Oh, yeah.
said it.
Yeah, shithead.
Yeah, it was just bullshit about the triple threat.
Just bullshit,
nah.
huh?
But bro, tell me how she's lying.
Like a
She's
tiger.
like, how do both of these women lose and get to fight me? Tell me how Becky's lying.
That's true.
Both them dumb. And dude, this was another, dare I say, top bad promo with Lyra, bro.
Yeah.
When she as soon as she came out and tried to do the fast walk badass shit and hit Bailey, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Right.
And then when
That's
she
not
got
her character.
She looks like a child who has to take a shit.
Yeah. And then when she went to hit Becky or hit Bailey and hit Becky, then she goes like, "Oh my god, like I hit my best friend." Like, you hate her.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it was just really bad.
Bad
dude.
booking all the way around.
Yeah, that was bad. Sorry, Lyra, you're kind of hot, but you suck.
More than kinda.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got predictions for it. I think they're just trying to re-give Becky and Bailey their Grand Slam titles.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you mean?
Because they introduced 2 new belts. Becky and Bailey both lost being Grand Slam champions.
Right, because they don't have all the belts now.
I thought still Grand Slam would only be 3, no?
No, Grand Slam is every belt.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But that's why The Miz is the only 2-time Grand Slam champion.
The Miz
So
is the
Becky
best.
still has to win the United States.
Yeah.
Right.
And then plus she said, "Oh, I'm done for a while because I want to raise Rue." And then they go and do just 2 more belts. I was like, "Whoa, well, guess who's back?"
You think that was it?
Whoa!
I thought that was just kayfabe,
I did
so it
too.
would
No,
be a
I-
surprise when she popped in.
Yeah, I know. I think she really wanted to retire or spend more time with Rue. And then they introduced 2 more belts, and she's like, "Well, you're not taking that away from my Hall of Fame career."
I don't think she gives a fuck, dude. She's a Hall of Famer either way.
Right.
Then we, ending the night, we had Seth Rollins versus Penta. I'm kind of getting lost about what they're going to be doing for War Games.
Well, they got a lot of time yet before
Yeah.
War Games. They got a lot of time to set that up.
Yeah, because Roman's going to come back for SummerSlam, so who knows what he's going to do.
Right.
Yeah.
It could be anything. Because I guarantee you, if Roman's back, he'll be in War Games.
Yeah.
Cody, War Games.
And they've been mentioning his name now, so you know
Yeah.
he's on the verge of coming back.
Yeah.
Do that promo with... why didn't we talk about any of that?
Well, which promo?
We didn't talk about
Bring it up. What are we talking about?
Heyman coming out and doing the Rollins promo. We didn't do any of that.
Who did?
Heyman came out
Oh, right,
in
right.
the beginning. They
Oh,
all came
Heyman.
out, and they all finally talked.
Right, and they talked about Roman.
Dude, they literally predicted the show.
Right.
It was epic.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, here's what we're going to do. And then by the end of the show, you're like, holy shit, they did
They
exactly
didn't
that.
predict the show. No, they didn't. They spoiled the show.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not a prediction. It's,
It's
a spoiler.
But Paul Heyman mentioned Roman again. You're right. That's when, since you didn't talk about it.
Yeah, that was in the beginning. That opened the show. Braun Breaker stole the mic.
Right. Which he should never have.
And plus, I'm going off a quick list. It doesn't tell me where every promo was, but yeah, Seth Rollins took the win over Penta. And then now we got to look forward. I mean, we got Friday Night SmackDown, but we're looking forward to Saturday night's main event.
night's main event.
Or right now we have our main event of the night. We have Gunther versus Goldberg for the World Heavyweight Championship. We got LA Knight versus Seth Rollins.
Right.
And
What a great battle.
I before that match starts,
Yeah.
I just want them on the mic. I just want promo over promo
Right.
before that match.
And then have them fight up in the concourse.
Yeah. And then and right now the third match announced for the night is we got Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre.
Do I remember that?
That was from SmackDown. Drew
That's
McIntyre
right.
came back, was talking shit about them, and
That's
he
right.
basically called Randy Orton a pussy, took an RKO.
He took one, right? Yep.
And then now the match was made. I believe that's at Evolution. Okay, no, I was thinking about another match. But Friday Night SmackDown hasn't hit. We don't know what the last 2 matches will be. It'll
Right.
probably be something announced on SmackDown. But I think Saturday night's main event is going to be a all men's event
Let's hope.
because they got Evolution, so they need.
It will be.
Let's hope.
If one, maybe, but I don't even see that.
So, is Goldberg doing one more title run, or is he passing the torch to Gunther?
I think he's
And
passing the torch.
Is Gunther good enough to have Goldberg pass that torch?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're all in
But-
agreement.
Dude,
And Gunther could go 10, 20 minutes.
Right.
How do you know, fag?
Hey,
Do not come. Do not come.
That's look, I'm not gay, but your arms are looking fucking phenomenal today, bro.
I listened to a couple podcasts. Everyone that I've listened to, bro, they swear, especially after Monday, that Goldberg's getting that fucking belt, dude. A lot of people think he's getting it, man.
I don't think so.
I hope not. Could Gunther carry the mantle if he defeated? See, I agree. Okay, so all of us agree. Gunther is a future Hall of Famer and one of the brightest spots in WWE right now.
Better be. He's amazing.
And then I'll fly
Only
through.
an injury could throw that career off. Yeah, that dude knows how to sell. He knows how to pace a match. None of these kids know how to pace a friggin' match.
Bro, you know what he knows how to do is carry a belt.
Right.
That motherfucker is a champion through and through. And just the way he is exactly how his character is. Like, I'm the best in the fucking business at what I do. Fuck you, watch me. You know,
Right.
like, he's a badass, dude.
Speaking of like him being the character still outside of life, have you seen the post that because Braun Breaker doesn't have social media, but his girlfriend does.
All right.
And so he'll end up in some of her posts, and Braun Breaker looks like the most lost motherfucker in the world.
Yeah.
Like he's just like dragged around places by his girlfriend.
Oh,
Just,
He's got good style.
no.
Who's his girlfriend?
I don't fucking remember. She's a hot blonde. I remember that.
Well, I'm going to break out the Google machine.
It's a wrestler.
Yeah. But while you're over there Googling yourself, I'll go ahead and I'll hit the Evolution card real quick. I'm probably the only person that's going to watch it, so I'll give you guys the review next week. We got a Women's World Championship match of Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. As we talked about, we got the women the WWE Women's Championship match.
NXT girl.
Lizzie Dame? Is he
Yes.
Dame?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's her Dane. Yep.
We got the Women's WWE Women's Championship match of Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. The
Bro.
NXT Women's Championship match of JC Jane versus Jordan Grace.
Don't care.
The Women's Intercontinental Championship match of Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria.
Don't care.
We have a Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Team Championship match of Raquel and Roxanne versus Alexa and Charlotte
Who's gonna win that?
versus Sol Ruka and Zarya and versus the Kabuki Warriors.
Who's gonna win it, Mark?
I believe it's either going to come down to Bliss and Flair or the Kabuki Warriors.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think Judgment Day retains in
No.
any way?
No.
What do you think?
Perez is a bright spot.
I don't know. That's the only
Alexa
reason.
Bliss has been underused, but she's dragging the anchor of Charlotte Flair.
I think Charlotte Flair needs this.
Right. The Bukkake Warriors are horribly named and played out.
Well, they're
it's...
they're just returning now. Remember?
Right. Well, the gimmick was played out when they dropped it.
Fair.
The person who wins is going to be... don't really care.
I think it's between Judgment Day and Bliss and.
I think it's got to be Bliss. They haven't done shit with her, and she's one of the names that people who don't like women's wrestling like. And Charlotte Flair used to be, and if given the chance, maybe she could re-earn that again.
That's what people are saying. The people that I listen to, at least, are saying that they think if they give Charlotte and Alexa these belts, not only will it legitimize the belts again, because you got some bad bitches with them,
Right.
but it'll be good for them too. You know, it'll boost both of their careers.
Right.
Has Charlotte Flair ever been a tag champion?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, back in the day, bro, she was a horseman.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you what I don't like about Evolution. Here's what really sticks. Now, look, I know you can find many a pay-per-view that don't have women's
PLE.
matches. No, they're pay-per-views. PLE's a dumb fucking name.
Didn't you just yell at me about the same thing like 10 minutes ago?
I did at work. Yeah, down at the Nest we had this argument. But you can find many pay-per-views where there are no women's matches, but that was market-driven. Okay? WWE might not have been pushing the women hard enough, whatever it is, but it was market-driven. There's never been a pay-per-view where somebody stood up and said, hey, no women allowed. But it's okay to have a chick pay-per-view where they stand up, hey, no dudes allowed.
Bro, you're
Fuck
talking like
you.
like how when BET came out. Same argument.
Oh, right.
Black Entertainment Television.
Right.
But did you guys notice on what was the pay-per-view or PLE in Saudi? What was it?
The Night of
Crown
Champions.
Jewel?
Jewel? Oh, Night of Jewel. All right.
Did you notice? I didn't realize it till Tiffany Stratton came out. Every one of the women was in full
Yeah.
Yeah, but
they always are.
long sleeve,
Yeah.
long pants.
That's
They
how
can
they
show
always
no
are in
skin.
Saudi Arabia.
Right.
No shit, I didn't know that. I was
You
just,
didn't realize that, huh?
I didn't. I was watching it, and I'm like, why does?
Why is everybody dressed like Nia Jax?
Yeah, well, I'm like, why does Tiffany Stratton have on a full racing suit?
How great did she look, though?
She looked awesome, but then other women came out, and I'm like, there's no fucking way that Jade Cargill is gonna wear something like that. That bitch's titties are straight hanging out. Her vag is out every match.
Right.
Like, she ain't dressing that way. No way.
Now, if you remember, when they first started wrestling in Saudi Arabia, they didn't allow the women to wrestle at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so Saudi used to get some things right. So now, but because, everybody's like, oh, WWE, I'm going to boycott because they're wrestling in Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is horrible. Yeah, well, you dumbasses don't understand. Because of WWE's influence, and because they didn't just boycott because the women couldn't wrestle, because of their influence, their strength, their popularity, now women can wrestle. And if everybody did it your way, you dummies, women wouldn't be wrestling in Saudi Arabia.
Who knows where WWE would be as well, because the amount of money that Saudi
that don't hurt.
pays the WWE is an
Right.
insane amount, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard that anything they want, they get. They'll be like, oh, hey, I want to do this, and Triple H will be like, we can't do that. Oh, really? How much, motherfucker?
Right.
And Triple H is like, well, 10 million maybe. Oh, okay, let's do it.
That's why
Whoa.
I told Papa J, my personal belief, as long as Sami Zayn is signed to WWE, he will be at every pay-per-view in Saudi
they love
Arabia.
him over there, boy.
He will be at every pay-per-view.
You know what's funny is I heard, because everyone's like, when's he gonna return? Because of his being his third injury this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone's saying that they don't think he's coming back till Saudi Mania at the
Royal Rumble?
in Saudi.
Yeah.
That's what they said. Good point. Maybe that's what it is.
Uh,
Why does that have anything to do with it?
Because he's Muslim.
Yes.
I
You
thought
didn't
he
know
was,
that.
like Irish or something.
No, he's
He is
a,
Irish.
Yeah,
But he's Muslim.
he's a Canadian Muslim.
Huh.
Canadian from Ireland, Muslim. Right.
Of Irish descent.
Yeah, totally something I'd guess.
But to finish the last match at Evolution, probably be the starting match, is the women's battle royale with there's a Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Let's just swap over that. But the women's battle royale, where the winner of the battle royale gets a title shot at SummerSlam.
Did you guys see the Jade and Naomi backstage thing?
Where Naomi attacked her backstage and said, "You better proceed with caution."
Right.
And what'd she do after that? And before that, when she rolled up and hit her, she went, hey, looky. Did you not
That
hear
was
that?
horrible.
And then afterwards, she's like, aha! Laughs, does like a scream laugh.
That was the most
fucking
bullshit
horrible.
laugh on the planet. I was like, oh, they're trying so hard.
Dude, they're just sometimes, and I'm not sexist at all. I love my wife. You're beautiful, honey. I fucking love you, women. Empower them, bitches. Some of these women,
If you gotta
I hate to
say it.
are ruining the fucking wrestling.
I'm not racist,
And it's
but
not
his is
because of
racist.
their wrestling talent or their athletic abilities. It's because of some of these promos are just so fucking bad, dude.
You know why? Because they're women.
I didn't say it.
I'll say it.
Well, next week we'll have more. We'll have another little glimpse into Friday Night SmackDown. We'll talk about Saturday night's main event. We will we'll listen to Bulk's quick recap of Evolution, because I'm probably going to be the only one that watches it.
Yep.
And then a little bit of Monday Night Raw. But next week, be prepared for our number 5 in the top 5 video game heroes. Follow us on YouTube. This is where we're primarily streaming. Go ahead and join our Discord of Big Lip Radio. You look for Big Lip Radio, you'll find us everywhere.
Hey, don't forget to tell them to be here on the 4th. Or on Friday, I mean.
And on this Friday, the 11th, from the hours of 6 p.m. to midnight Mountain Standard Time, because we're Arizona and fuck daylight savings.
Right.
We will be streaming Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. We will be doing old school couch co-op, where we hit 2-minute segments, pass the controller on, see how far we can get in the games in 6 hours.
I'm probably going to win.
Good. Mr. Nintendo.
It's a
over here
collaborative
will-
effort.
Yeah.
Usually, whoever can complete the hardest challenge is considered the best.
Yeah,
Right.
So I'll be the winner.
The one we're all stuck on. Beggy's saying he's going to be the one to beat it.
Yeah.
No, the winner.
The winner.
The wiener. The
The
wiener.
Nintendo game.
I'm going to
The
win
best.
Tony Hawk 3.
Well, this has been the internet's most family-friendly NSFW podcast, nerd stuff and frickin' wrestling. Everybody have a great night, and we will be back with Big Lip Radio in 30 minutes. Peace.
Repeal the 19th.